#1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, and the Bitcoin hash rate broke out to yet another all-time high. Also in today's show, I'm going to be sharing the last time this happened, Bitcoin exploded, according to Glassnode co-founders. I'll be sharing what they mean. We're also going to be discussing breaking news. China has Bitcoin ETF FOMO as Hong Kong considers spot Bitcoin ETF. Quoting Arthur Hayes here, competition is amazing. If the US has its proxy asset manager, BlackRock, then launching an ETF, China needs its proxy asset manager to launch one too. Preach. Also in today's show, Taiwan introduces a crypto bill to Parliament. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as an expert analyst predicts the date for the next Bitcoin cycle high, and I'm going to be sharing that exact date and timeline along with his Bitcoin price prediction. We're also going to be discussing everything related to the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF, and even more importantly, how much will the Bitcoin price likely be worth after their successful launch. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. And welcome everyone just joining us. Massive shout out to everyone in that live chat. What is good, Bit Matt? Let me know if you guys can see and hear me clearly and everything is good to go before we kick into high gear. What up, Fender? Let's freaking go. What up, Jaws? Appreciate ya. Quinn says, let's go. Bring it. Shout out to the Bitcoin maxis out there, all the moderators as well. Bitcoin Maximus. We got Streamlabs. We got Digital Dankness. What it do? Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to CJ. Good to see you as well, fam. Appreciate ya. Thanks for tuning in as always. $0 G-Ro, always hooking it up with those super chats. He says, pulling up to work and still listening. Let's freaking go. Bring it, fam. Lots to cover today as we do each and every day. Loud and clear. Thanks. I appreciate that for the feedback. And don't forget, this is a live and interactive show. So please let me know where you're tuning in from and interact as I will check comments in between the stories that I read to you. Shout out to Passive Income. Appreciate you, fam. What up, Philip? Good to see you, bro. Alex Watson in the building. Good to see you as well. Nick Lane, what it do? Fat Bass, what up, G? Good to see you guys. Much love. And don't forget, there is a poll in that live chat. Please participate. And at the end of the show, I'll be reading the results from that live poll. I want everyone to participate. What up, Sherry Young? Good to see you, fam. Much love. Appreciate you tuning in live to the show. Always a pleasure. Philip's tuning in from Sydney, Australia. That's what's up. I'm broadcasting live as I do each and every day from Puerto Rico. It's a very rainy day here today. BitMat in Colorado. That's what's up. Rocky Mountain High. Bring it. All right, guys, let's kick it off. Welcome, everyone. This is pod episode number 1453. Please smash that subscribe button as it helps out tremendously. You also get a on-screen shout out, and don't forget to smash that like, especially if you're gaining value out of today's show. We have lots to cover as we do each and every day. Let's kick it off with our market watch. Now, don't be alarmed. This is a 1 month chart of the price action for Bitcoin. You can see currently sitting just above 35,000, but up 25% for the month as we're now in Moonvember. I would absolutely say October did not disappoint. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're sitting at a $1.33 trillion market cap. The volume is on the rise with 40 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. The Bitcoin dominance at 51.5% even, with the Ether dominance at 17.2%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Blur up 38%, trading at 38.5 cents, followed by Trust Wallet Token up 24%, trading at $1.64, followed by the Graph up 13%, trading just above 14.3 cents. And checking out Crypto Bubbles, we can see the top gainers for the past week. We can see massive gains overall for the altcoin market as that market cap continues to climb. And we have Trust Wallet Token leading the pack here at 23.8%. And checking out for the past year, now you can see where we're at. We have some cryptos up hundreds of percent, some up over 1,000%, but I would say the majority of the altcoins are in the red for the year. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 74 in greed, on the rise. Yesterday was a 70, last week a 68, and last month a 49, which is neutral. So there you have it, fam. How many of you are currently bullish on the King Crypto? Let me know. And again, I appreciate those super chats. I appreciate all the votes in that live chat. that. Appreciate you guys. Boomer Rocks, what up? Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Shout out to Joshua Decker. Much appreciated. Hopefully you tune in on a regular basis as I'm streaming live daily, 7 days a week. What up, Chill? Good to see you again. We pumping you, damn right. Shout out to Mr. Bella. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Much love, much respect. Trying to get to 60,000 subs. I think we're going to hit it by Wednesday, but who knows? If you guys keep subscribing like that, maybe we'll hit it by today or tomorrow. Let's see. What up, Israel Henry? Appreciate you, fam. ETH is still looking good too, says Passive. That's right. I guess if we can break 2,000, there's not a lot of resistance in between 2 and 4. So who knows how fast we can climb back up. You know what I mean? XRP, one of the top gainers for the day, chill. Last I checked, it was up 11%. We're going to dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Also, we'll take a quick overview of the altcoin markets as well. Stat-wise, Jenks in the building. Appreciate you tuning in. Orange Pill love, much respect, fam. All right, guys, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. Also, shout out to Baller Bill. Good to see you, fam. Here we go. The S&P 500 index soared almost 6% last week, its best performance since November of 2022. A large part of the gains were fueled by expectations that the Federal Reserve will not hike the rates anymore. And in comparison, Bitcoin had a much muted performance with a rise of approximately 2%. However, a positive sign for crypto investors is that a risk on sentiment is likely to benefit the crypto space. Bitcoin's rise attracted investments in several beaten down altcoins, which are rising from their long-term slumber. If Bitcoin does not collapse, which we all know it's not going to, the recovery may spread to coins that have still not participated in the rise. And even as Bitcoin enters a range, select alts are showing signs of moving higher. So let's take a look at the top cryptos and do a little analysis, starting with the king. We got Bitcoin here continuing to trade near 35,000. Actually, we're right on top at the time of this recording. And over the past few days has formed an ascending channel pattern, which you can see here in the Bitcoin daily chart. After the sharp rally, a tight ascending channel is generally considered a negative sign. Now, if the price turns down and skids below the channel, it may tempt several aggressive traders to book profits. That may pull the price to the 20-day exponential moving average, currently sitting at 33,000. A strong rebound off this level suggests the bulls remain in command. They will then again try to thrust the price above 36,000 and resume the uptrend, with 36,000 in that area being the current annual high. Now, on the contrary, if the price action turns down, breaking below the 20-day exponential moving average, Bitcoin can plunge to the strong support zone between 32,400 and 31,000. The bulls are expected to defend this zone with all their might, because a break below it will tilt the advantage in favor of the bulls. And as you can see here in the Bitcoin 4-hour candle chart, now Bitcoin has been gradually rising inside the ascending channel pattern, but the negative divergence on the RSI suggests that the bullish momentum may be weakening. If the bulls want to retain control, they'll have to kick the price above that channel, and if they manage to do that, the primary target for the rally is 40,000. Now, I feel we can hit this target here in Moonvember. Let me know if you guys agree. I mean, we're only roughly 5,000 away at this time, and this is historically the most bullish month of the year. Meanwhile, the bears are likely to have other plans. They will try to sink the price below the channel to gain the upper hand, and if they are successful, Bitcoin may tumble to $32,400. Now, which crypto should I do an analysis on next? Should we do Cosmos? We're just going to choose one of the alts. I want you to let me know in the chat. Should we do Uniswap? Or should we do, what other options? We've got Near Protocol, or we have one more option here, Axie Infinity. Which one do you want me to read? Let me know in that live chat, and we'll do one little bonus TA session for you. What up, Digital Bobby? Puff past that hopium. You already know we be taking hits from that hopium bong each and every day on Crypto News Alerts. XRP will continue up until the bull run after the Bitcoin halving. 50-cent XRP is over, says Crypto Burger. That's right. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe XRP just tapped 70 cents here this morning. StatWise says 60,000 subscribers here versus Simply Bitcoin show today celebrating 21,000, considering CNA is mostly JV with Digital Dankness. Help. Simply Bitcoin is sponsored by Swan, and this show is impressive. Well, thank you, Statwise. We greatly appreciate that. So Jack says Chainlink. Word up. Barry says Cosmos. Zero says Caspa. Steven says Cardano. Alex says Chainlink. And Osho says Cardano. So we kind of got a mixed bag here. Let her rip. Osho says ADA. Again, that is Cardano. So let's see here. It looks like We're going to have to choose not Axie. No one said Axie. No one said Near Protocol. Uniswap, nobody said. So let's just do, I mean, I already have Cosmos pulled up, so we might as well just touch upon this just really briefly before we dive deeper into another Bitcoin prediction coming from Glassnode, who is one of my favorite analytic companies. So let's dive here really quick. So for Cosmos, aka Atom, it rose above $7.60 resistance October 30th, which completed a double bottom pattern with the bulls successfully defending the breakout level between November 1st and the 3rd. Here you're looking at the Atom daily chart. Curious how many of you are bullish on this crypto? Let me know. Buyers propelled the price above $8.25 November 5th, indicating the resumption of the uptrend. The pattern target from the breakout of the bullish setup is $8.91. This level may act as a barrier, but if crossed, Atom could run up to $10. Now, the important support to watch out on the downside is $7.60. If the bears pull the price below this level, it will suggest aggressive selling at the higher levels, and it may then dump to the 50-day simple moving average, currently sitting at $7.07. So there you have it as far as your bonus little crypto TA for you. What up, K-Jam? What it do, fam? What up, Double B? Vamos? What it do? Billionaire, VRA. Word, I'm not even familiar with that crypto. Who still does not use a cold storage wallet? That's a fantastic question, K-Jam, as I highly recommend everyone using a cold storage wallet for, self-custody versus keeping your precious crypto on the exchanges. We all know not your keys, not your coins. So you got to do what you got to do. Shout out to the coin father and all of our veterans out there doing their thing. Much love, much respect. Now let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss a little bit about this RSI, the Relative Strength Index, according to Glassnode, which is an extremely bullish indicator indicating very bullish behavior. Here we go. Glassnode analysts point out one historically bullish signal for the King crypto, which previously prompted explosive rallies for the top crypto asset by market cap. Glassnode co-founders say the Bitcoin has crushed multiple critical resistance levels and is now at a point of strengthening its momentum. Let's go. The analysts zero in on Bitcoin's RSI, which is traditionally used to gauge an asset's momentum. Now, with Bitcoin's RSI now above that 70 level, the analysts say that based on history, Bitcoin can be on track for another large move to the upside. Send it, let's go. Quoting the analysts here, we analyzed our proprietary regime shift and concluded that we were transitioning from a bearish to a bullish environment. The weekly chart reinforces our view. A long-term bullish trend was confirmed with the momentum building up, and from the looks, it is only the beginning. Notice how the last time the RSI crossed 70, Bitcoin absolutely exploded. The RSI is now beginning to be overbought and can stretch higher towards the 100 mark, as it is the norm with bullish markets. And in other words, as long as it sustains the uptrend, the Bitcoin price action would be inclined to keep the rally intact. As outlined here on this chart, the analysts also warned that Bitcoin is more or less transversing into uncharted territory as it begins to flirt with ranges not seen since last year. And according to the Glassnode co-founders, Bitcoin may hit the 32.7 level before continuing higher. Quoting them again, we must remember that nothing moves in an up-only manner, and we are, in a way, in uncharted territory. Therefore, it is essential to define the critical ranges to identify attractive entry and exit levels. Sage advice. They also share here, short-term support is forging at around 33.7 with a pivot point at 34.4. So in the midterm, we can see a retest of the 32.7 to 33.3 level. Remember that volatility is high. So what we could see is wicks below our current support levels. The Bitcoin bulls still have a solid near-term technical advantage as a price uptrend is on the daily bar chart, as shared here in this Bitcoin price in context chart brought to you by Swiss Block. Now, let me know how many of you are currently bullish on the King crypto. I also got to point out that Bitcoin's hash rate hit yet another all-time high. And as we all know, the Bitcoin price tends to follow the hash rate. So send it and let's go. Shout out to Bitcoin Trini. What it do, my fam? Bitcoin is king. You got that right. Bango 926. Much love, much respect. Good to see you guys. What up, chum? Says hello, JV. Hello, chum. What it do? Hello, JV and fam from the dark continent. Peace and respect. Remind me, me, what is the dark continent again? Which continent? Shout out to the Hodl King. Appreciate you, fam. What it do, guys? What up, Matt? What up, Nostalgic? Bullish on Link, I see. Yeah, which altcoins are you guys most bullish on for this season? Do let me know. As typically, after Bitcoin makes its run up, the altcoins tend to follow, especially preceding the halving. And we all know the halving is right around the corner, approximately only 5.5 months out. I appreciate the love, Trini. Much love, much respect. Good to see you. Much love. Intra, what up, Jaws Tech? Good to see you as well. Barry BTC in the building. Appreciate you, Osho. Appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. Let's smoke some hash rate. Right? You got to do what you got to do. Do you recommend to transfer rollover IRA money to Bitcoin IRA? That's a decision you got to make on your own, fam. I can't give investment advice, but naturally, if you are more bullish on Bitcoin, then I think it would make sense to consider it at least. But do your own research and do your own homework, absolutely. Shiba as the pet crypto, that's actually Nipsey in the background, sleeping in the doing his thing. It's a little dark because it's a very rainy, gloomy day here in Puerto Rico. But nonetheless, fam, we have lots to cover. Shout out to Candace Stevens. Appreciate you as well. She says, need a new financial advisor. Ours doesn't believe in Bitcoin. Wow. That's kind of sad, but I would probably say 95% of financial advisors don't know anything, or not much, I should say, about the King crypto. So that's kind of sad, but it's the reality. You know what I mean? Lady Jojo, what it do? Appreciate you tuning in. We're getting more and more ladies tuning into the show. I appreciate that. Let's now dive into our next story of the day and discuss breaking news coming out of China. Hong Kong more specifically, which is not in the mainland of China, but you know what's up. They're going to be launching an ETF. I mean, this would mean game theory in full effect. Competition is a beautiful thing. So let's discuss this breaking news as shared here. Breaking, China has Bitcoin ETF FOMO as Hong Kong considers spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, how many of you have been to China or Hong Kong? Let me know. I used to live in China. I spent 13 months there and I actually did my visa runs in Hong Kong. So I'm a little familiar with that area. Hong Kong is an awesome place to be, by the way. Here's what Arthur Hayes had to share. Competition is amazing. If the US has its proxy asset manager, BlackRock, launching an ETF, China needs its proxy asset manager to launch one too. Preach. So here is the latest, which was just reported. This is, again, breaking news. The crypto community is excited about the Hong Kong government reportedly weighing the launch of a spot crypto ETF amid the ongoing regulatory pushback against such products in the United States. Show them how to do their job. You know what I mean? So Gary can follow the lead. Now, Hong Kong's potential entrance into the spot crypto ETFs could be a significant development in the context of the economic confrontation between the US and China, according to the BitMEX co-founder, Arthur Hayes. Now, Hayes took to X November 6th to express excitement over competition between the two economies, emphasizing that this competition will eventually be good for Bitcoin. As I shared here already, I read this to you. The US versus China economic war is great for BTC. That's right. Crypto brand Coin Bureau is also quick to react to the potential spot ETF launch over in Hong Kong. According to the Coin Bureau, the US SEC might be getting some pressure amid other jurisdictions like Hong Kong jumping on the bandwagon for their spot Bitcoin ETF. Quoting him here, it is a cursory tale to the SEC that if they continue to stifle capital market innovation in the United States, other countries are going to fill the void. Preach. And let's not forget Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and all that money in the Middle East is pretty serious. Now, crypto influencer Lark Davis also stressed that the latest spot crypto ETF news coming out of Hong Kong shows that the Chinese government doesn't want to miss out on crypto opportunities. Quoting him here, Hong Kong is going to get a spot Bitcoin ETFs now. China money does not want to miss out. Now, Hong Kong is considering allowing retail investors to access the spot ETFs linked to cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, providing regulatory concerns are met. The Securities and Futures Commission CEO Julia Luang said, according to a Bloomberg report on November 5th, the SFC did not immediately respond to requests for comment. However, Hong Kong's potential move into the spot Bitcoin ETFs comes as at least a dozen investment firms in the United States currently seek to launch similar products in the US, despite long-running pushback from Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC. Now, although both Hong Kong and the US have permitted crypto ETF links in the future contracts, the jurisdictions are yet to approve a spot crypto ETF. Now, unlike a futures Bitcoin ETF, which tracks future contracts to replicate the Bitcoin prices, the spot Bitcoin ETF directly holds the Bitcoin. That's the massive underlying difference, allowing investors to gain exposure to the asset. Now, the US was the first to launch futures-linked crypto ETFs back in 2021, with Hong Kong following in the footsteps the following year, late 2022, with the launch of CSOP crypto future products, and combined with the Samsung Bitcoin Futures Active ETF, Hong Kong has about $65 million in crypto ETF assets, according to Bloomberg. The futures crypto ETFs has seen low demand in Hong Kong, with their share still being tiny compared to the other global crypto funds. Now, Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, the biggest bank in Hong Kong, reportedly enabled its customers to buy and sell Bitcoin as well as Ethereum-based ETFs in June of 2023. So there you have it, fam. I believe that competition is a phenomenal thing and something we need, especially with the SEC in the United States lacking behind, you know what I mean, the rest of the world and stifling innovation, as they pointed out. That's what's up. I like the Bitcoin hat. Thank you, Bango. I appreciate that. And if you didn't know, we have a merch store, which could be found at merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. Candace says, I bear our financial advisor by 400%. Oh, I beat it. Wow. Yeah, not surprising. I mean, traditional financial advisors don't know much. You know what I mean? They're especially lacking when it comes to crypto. Stephen Hub says DCA and HODL. That's the name of the game. That's what's up. What is the story about a supercomputer breaking the 256 encrypted code? Well, I'll tell you this much. No supercomputer exists that can hack it, or everyone's crypto would be gone, including Satoshi's wallet, which has over 1 million BTC. So, hey, anything's possible, but at this time, they're not even close to being able to hack these wallets. So I wouldn't be concerned about it at this time. ETFs are good, but it'll be sticking with MicroStrategy. Okay, that's what's up. Track you too with my 401k funds that I can't buy the Bitcoin directly. Well, that's probably the next best option. So good for you, fam. Do what it do. Keep stacking them sats and follow in the leads of the GigaChat himself, Michael Saylor. Dankness says soon there's going to be 7 billion wallets. When that happens, world adoption by Bitcoin directly. Let's freaking go. Let's go. That's what's up. Matthew says Bitcoin won't be broken by supercomputer. They are incentivized to mine over that. Look at the hash rate. Good point coming from Matthew. Shout out Lady Jojo. Much love, much respect. Now let's break down our next story of the day. Speaking of international adoption of Bitcoin and crypto, Taiwan making big moves out there. This story actually was released last week, but it kind of flew under the radar, but I feel it's significant, so I want to touch upon it. Taiwan introducing a crypto bill to Parliament. Now, there has been some mix-up in the news. You have some crypto influencers predicting that Taiwan is likely to make Bitcoin a legal tender, which is inaccurate. They're just looking to introduce a crypto bill to Parliament, which is a major difference. So just wanted to throw that out there. On October 25th last week, Taiwanese legislators introduced the virtual asset management bill to the Unicameral Parliament, the legislative yuan. The bill aims to provide better protection for customers and properly supervise the industry. The 30-page bill appears moderate in its demands for the industry, suggesting some common sense obligations for virtual asset service providers, such as separating customer funds from the company's reserve funds, establishing an internal control and audit system, as well as joining the local trade association. However, at the current point, it doesn't require stablecoin issuers to hold a 1-to-1 ratio of reserve funds, and it doesn't mention algorithmic stablecoins. And as to marketing activities, the rules for advertising are to be determined by a competent authority. The bill suggests fines for VASPs operating without a license, no less than 2 million Taiwanese dollars, which is roughly 60,000 USD, and no more than 20 million TWD, which is roughly 600,000 USD. The company is already operating in the Taiwan market, will have 6 months to obtain the license after the bill comes into force. Now, in September of this year, Taiwan's Financial Supervisory Commission also released industry guidelines for VASPs. The FSC prohibits foreign VASPs from providing their services in Taiwan without obtaining the necessary approval from the regulator. The rules were created as major crypto exchanges in Taiwan have formed a self-regulatory association, and on September 26, local exchanges such as MyCoin, BitStreetX, HoyaBit, BitGin, Rybit, and XREX and Shangbito joined forces to create the Taiwan Virtual Asset Platform and Transaction Business Association, and they aim to support the crypto industry as well as work with the regulators. So there you have it, mass adoption coming from Asia. You got to also consider most of the population of the world lives in Asia. I believe the largest countries with the largest population, correct me if I'm wrong, but guessing I'd say India and China right off the bat. You know what I mean? Yeah, so let's freaking go. Bitcoin, is that a $1 million? I buy an electric wheelchair? Word up, Barry, do what it do. I gave Bard Google all the Bitcoin bull market tops since $31.90 in 2011. Shout out to Steve Hubbs, that's massive. Holy moly. He also says $1,177 in 2013, $19,764 in 2017, and $69,000 in 2021. Asked for an equation for predict the high in 2025, and he gave 145,000. Very interesting. I appreciate you sharing that insights with me, Steve. Here in a little bit, we're going to be sharing some Bitcoin price targets for the cycle peak for the King crypto, this bull market. Even a quantum computer cannot crack the one-way SHA-256, and that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Asia is key, says Robbie Kaiser. Word up. It is a mass market, that's for sure. Matthew points out that the nodes wouldn't accept the bad transactions. It's just a waste of money. It costs billions of dollars to get a one double spend, so absolutely pointless. Preach. Steven says, yes, it can. The more specific you get in your question, the better answer you'll get it. It's all a guess, even when a machine does it. Jaws says, Pakistani dudes are investing in crypto as well like crazy. I mean, why wouldn't you? What's the alternative? Shout out to Digital Planet. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, fam. Much love, much respect. Watching Crypto News Alerts while running on the treadmill, talking about that's what's up, Jeff. You know what I mean? Putting your health first along with your Bitcoin wealth. You got to do what it do. Get in that workout. No excuses. Very inspiring. All right, fam. Now let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss a Bitcoin peak for this bull cycle with an exact date according to this analyst. Then we'll be discussing the latest with the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF and some predictions where the Bitcoin price is likely to land after the successful launch. Let's break this baby down, and welcome to everyone just joining us. Shout out to CryptoCon, a figure in the crypto analysis community, presenting a detailed chart that anticipates the next Bitcoin cycle peak to be in the vicinity of 130,000. Personally, I feel this is extremely conservative. As you can see in the poll, you would all agree, or the majority of you, which are predicting a much higher price action. So according to the analyst, the date for the next cycle high will be November 28th, 2025. So unfortunately, not this coming year, but the following year, which typically is the year preceding the halving, we hit that cycle peak. Now, with a possible deviation of 21 days, this projection is based on the halving cycle theory, which aligns the Bitcoin price movement with the dates of its halving event. So let's break this down. The chart delineates Bitcoin's historical and projected price trajectory across the color-coded cycles, representing a different market phase postulated by CryptoCon. The green year indicates periods of accumulation with the best cycle buying prices and a return to the median, which is half the previous all-time high. The blue year is identified as a preparatory phase where the price gravitates around the median before climbing towards new all-time highs at the end of the year. Then we have the red year heralding the new all-time high, while the orange year suggests a bear market where the price becomes undervalued and bottoms out at the end of the year. Now you can see that clearly alongside this chart. CryptoCon's theory is grounded in the historical patterns observed around the Bitcoin halving events, the first on November 28, 2012, the second July 9th, 2016. The analyst asserts every prediction of this model has remained precisely on track since its creation in January of this year. And despite criticisms regarding the exact timing of the past cycle peaks, CryptoCon maintains confidence in the model, sharing the following. The biggest critique I have seen of this model is that the technical top came in April 2021 and not November, but you can't argue with the numbers. The price was higher. The analyst's approach combines various price experiments and a trend pattern price model, leading to a consensus target of 130,000 per Bitcoin. The shared chart also specifies that Bitcoin is on the cusp of a blue year. And according to CryptoCon, the next year early top for Bitcoin is anticipated to occur within a 21-day window around July 9th, 2024, with an expected price range between 42 and 48,000. Hence why I say that's conservative, as many analysts are predicting we hit as high as 48,000 this month of November here in 2023. But let me know your thoughts, fam. The chart analysis goes on to forecast the next cycle top, which is expected to fall within a similar 21-day margin around November 28th, 2025. The projected price range for this peak is notably bullish, setting the target between 90,000 and 130,000 per BTC. Now I actually want to read you his tweet, which he shared here on X. Nothing has changed about my time frame or expected price for the next Bitcoin cycle top, 90 to 130,000 plus within 21 days from November 28th, 2025. So note that thought. Now, Bitcoin is centered around the dates of the first and second halving. The first one was November 28th, 2012, and the second one was July 9th of 2016. The time frame comes from the halving cycle theory, which says that the cycle tops are within 21 days from November 28th in the red year. The bottoms come within 21 days of November 28th, beginning of the green year. And every prediction of this model has remained precisely on track since the creation of January of this year. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analysts as well as this chart. And I'll start reading some of your thoughts and comments out loud before we dive into our breaking story of the day and discuss everything related to the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. What up, Matthew? What up, Passive? Good to see the fam. What up, Tough T? Good to see you. Sanadesh, what up? Welcome, welcome. Getting into shape for the party in Puerto Rico. Smart man. Love to hear that. It's going to be much higher take in the FTX debacle. Keep Bitcoin down. I see 169,000 to 210,000. Right on. I would guesstimate 220,000 actually being the bearish scenario for the cycle peak, which is actually Max Kaiser's short-term target, just FYI. I think we have the potential to rip 3, 4, 500,000. But again, that would be the bullish scenario. Anything is possible. Most likely going to be a target in between the two, in my humble opinion. I'm with the stock to flow model. 300,000 will happen, says Robbie Kaiser. I hope you're right. Dankness is projecting 200 to 260,000 for this cycle. That's what's up. I think you're right. I mean, we could definitely hit that. Chat, hit that like button as it's contributing to the Bitcoin algorithm. Thank you, Brian. Much love, much respect. I appreciate the fam. 200,000 plus would be amazing. Hell yeah, it'd be phenomenal. So send it and let's frickin' go, shall we? Now let's dive into our breaking story of the day, discuss everything related to the BlackRock ETF and the ETF being approved by the major asset managers around the world and where this will likely take the Bitcoin price action. Let's break this down, shall we? Bitcoin is the non-sovereign reserve currency of the digital world, and from an investment management perspective, it can uniquely and inexpensively diversify well-balanced portfolios to improve total risk-adjusted returns. However, while there have been many ways to gain exposure to crypto apex asset, there has been one glaring hole, the holy grail of access, if you will, which is the United States spot Bitcoin ETF. The road to a US spot Bitcoin ETF has been long and arduous, with the SEC rejecting all 33 applications. What a shame. Across more than a dozen filers since the Winklevoss twins first sought the approval over a decade ago. That's right, it was over 10 years ago the first application was submitted by the Winklevoss twins. However, from BlackRock with its $9 trillion in assets under management, an impeccable application track record entering the fray in June, to Grayscale's resounding court victory over the SEC, vacating its previous app denial, to the recent approvals of a levered Bitcoin futures ETF and futures Ethereum ETFs, it appears as if we are closer than ever before. Facts. Indeed, noted industry analysts now peg the chance of approval by early January to be 90%. Send it and let's go. Grayscale's discount to net asset value has narrowed from 45% at the beginning of the year to 13%, indicating a higher market implied probability of approval / conversion, and Bitcoin is up a resounding 110% year to date due to, at least in part, of the spot ETF hopes. That's what's up. So what's the big deal? You already know, fam. As outlined here, a US spot Bitcoin ETF is a massive opportunity because of the sheer size of the US capital markets. In fact, SIFMA estimates that the US accounts for a full 40% of the total global fixed income assets and equity markets cap. Moreover, ETFs in the United States represent a greater percentage of the total assets than in other jurisdictions, coming in at 7% of equity and fixed income assets versus 4% in Europe and only 2% in Asia Pacific. Now, all in all, that amounts to a 7 trillion US ETF market with multiples of the size of Europe's 1.5 trillion market and Asia Pacific's 1 trillion market. And looked at another way, assets managed by broker-dealers, banks, and RIAs in the US total nearly $50 trillion. So it would just take a tiny percentage of managed and brokerage assets migrating into a spot ETF to move the needle. And crypto adoption in the US US is high, with the US ranked 4th in Chainalysis Global Crypto Adoption Index, portending well for adoption translating into investment. I mean, look at these charts. You can see the United States clearly the leader, following with Europe, followed by Asia Pacific. Another reason a US spot Bitcoin ETF is such a big deal is because of its advantages over the other trading vehicles and the resulting increased likelihood of greater adoption. So relative to spot futures, we have proxy stocks, over-the-counter trading trusts, and private funds. ETFs offer unique and advantaged combination on fees and transaction costs, liquidity, tracking error, and operational complexity, not to mention alleviating the need to figure out custody. That's right. When you use an ETF, you don't need to self-custody. And while several Bitcoin ETFs have existed since late 2021, there are notably disadvantages to its futures-based construction, such as tracking error, tax inefficiency, manipulation, you know what I mean, and roll costs that will typically lead to material underperformance over time, making them more appropriate for short-term trading than a buy and hold strategy that better capitalizes on the benefits Bitcoin brings to a portfolio. Put simply, a US spot Bitcoin ETF gives Bitcoin legitimacy, eliminating regulatory uncertainty, giving credence to crypto as an asset class, and ensuring strong oversight and investor protections, all in a convenient and familiar vehicle. So why doesn't Gary allow this? What's going on, Mr. Gensler? Now add in a potential offering from the likes of BlackRock with its sterling reputation among advisors and distribution to nearly every major wealth platform. It becomes easy to see why investment management and managers and advisors may suddenly take that leap. Put simply, a US spot Bitcoin ETF gives Bitcoin legitimacy. Facts. In fact, only 12% of financial advisors currently recommend Bitcoin to clients, according to the Digital Asset Council of Financial Professionals, but a full 77% say they plan to do so if and when a US spot Bitcoin ETF becomes available. And we all know the ETF will absolutely be a game changer. Now I want to read to you a tweet produced by Rip Van Winkle, which I feel is very valuable, with some projections on some of the numbers where the Bitcoin price is likely to go. And then I'll be sharing with you out loud some other projections from the major asset managers. And we're going to be talking all about where this Bitcoin price is likely to go here in the short term. Here we go. Quoting him here, BlackRock, Fidelity, and other spot ETF providers will be serving up bite-sized Bitcoins to millions of investors. Here's what I mean. If the price of Bitcoin is $35,000, which it is right now per coin, when the ETFs are approved, the shares of the ETFs will not be priced anywhere near $35,000 per share. Let that sink in. And while I don't think they have disclosed how much Bitcoin each share of their ETF will be worth, a good guess is somewhere in the range of 1,000 to 100,000 sats per share. I think this is reasonable because larger chunks of Bitcoin, like 10 million sats per ETF share, would put the price at $3,500 a share, and 1 million sats would put the price per share at $350, which would still price out many retail investors. Now, how should these firms be thinking about the amount of Bitcoin represented by each share? Let's discuss it. The low end of this range is at 1,000 sats, which would price each ETF share at 35 cents at today's Bitcoin price. The high end of the range is 100,000 sats, which would price each share at 35 bucks. Now, 35 bucks per share seems reasonable for the Bitcoin IPO, but not so fast. When factoring in future price increases, 100,000 sats per share could easily price out retail investors after 1 or 2 cycle moves. For example, when Bitcoin reaches $1 million per coin, the ETF shares would be priced at 1,000 per share if each share represents 100,000 sats. And when Bitcoin hits $5 million per coin, each share would be worth $5,000. But remember, many retail investors suffer from unit bias. So when you have unit bias, 5,000 a share, even 1,000 a share will seem expensive. If their goal is to price the shares in such a way that they are appealing to retail investors for the foreseeable future, they need to put serious thought into the equation. So if the goal is to maximize inclusion and participation amongst retail investors, then the smart move might be to make the shares of their Bitcoin spot ETFs look really cheap. They could achieve this by assigning a value at the low end of the range, like 1,000 sats per share. That way, when the ETFs launch, each share will be worth 35 cents. And when Bitcoin hits $1 million or $5 million per coin, which we all know is inevitable, right fam? The shares of the ETFs will still seem affordable at only $10 a share and $50 a share, respectively. Pretty clever. So what do you think regarding this? Let me know. Now I want to share with you some other insights. The peak price of Bitcoin each and every year since 2015, it was $465. It doubled the following year in 2016, year of the halving, $977. The year preceding the halving in 2017, Bitcoin soared 20x, almost 20,000. Then the following year was a bear market. We hit 18,344, followed by another bearish year of just under 13,000, followed by the next halving year. We soared back up to 28,000, reaching a new all-time high. Then the year preceding the halving, once again, we more than doubled with a 69,000 all-time high top in November of 2021. And then in 2022, which was last year, was roughly 47,000. And this year, now year to date, is roughly 36,000. Now for the projections from the top asset managers in the world, Skybridge Capital, Anthony Scaramucci's company, projecting 150,000 to 250,000 per Bitcoin post having an ETF approval. Fundstrat projecting 150,000 per coin. Morgan Creek Capital Management projecting 150,000 as well. Standard Chartered, the primary shareholder of Standard Chartered, believe it or not, is BlackRock. They have their hands in everything. They're projecting $120,000 Bitcoin price action. Then we have Cathie Wood. By the year 2030, she's projecting as high as 1.48 million per coin. More conservatively, we can just call it a milli. We have Mike Novogratz projecting $500,000 Bitcoin. We got the billionaire investor Tim Draper projecting $250,000 next year in 2024. Again, Standard Chartered projects $120,000. We got Dan Moorhead and Pantera Capital projecting $148,000. Tom Lee projecting $180,000. Kiyosaki, I've seen his projections as high as $1 million. Adam Back actually bet some Bitcoin that the Bitcoin price is likely to reach $100,000 per coin by March 31st, 2023, expecting the halving to take place sometime in April of 2024, and the list goes on and on. And a little fun fact, averaging these numbers, the Bitcoin price would be around $265,000, $500,000 per coin. But what are your thoughts, fam? Let me know in the comments right down below. We now have 345 votes, and it's still coming in. If you haven't casted your vote, please do let me know, as I'd like to read some of the results here shortly. But let's do our live Q&A session. Happy 420, as there's 420 people in the live chat. Much love, much respect. Appreciate you guys. What it do? Jay Bella, if someone calls himself a devil, then we know that he is wrecked. Word, over 420 watching. That's what's up. Bring facts. There are brokers like Robinhood that allows fractional shares of the stock or ETF, so the price may not be an issue. Just invest what fiat you want. K-Jam says, hit that like button. I appreciate that reminder, fam. Much love, much respect. No matter how much you buy, Bitcoin does not go up. It means they will dump big. I disagree with the devil there. That's funny. Your username is devil, but hey, people used to joke about buying Lambos with Bitcoin. Soon one Bitcoin will get you a Lambo. You're damn right. Or a Rari. Personally, I'd rather have a Ferrari. Now that Raris you can purchase with Bitcoin directly from the dealership, which is pretty cool, but you do got to get on that waiting list, just FYI. Strange, never seen Vanilla Ice to have such a bullish opinion, says Dankness. Word. What up, Doug Maloney? Appreciate you tuning in, fam. I think they'll do it at $35 per share, projects Matthew. Word up. Majin saying, what up? You'll never get my stats. That's what's up. Shout out to all my Dragon Ball Z homies out there. What it do? Good to see you, fam. Good luck on your ish coin, says Matthew. They will not be getting an ETF anytime soon, and they don't have a supply halving. That's right. A lot of altcoiners are absolutely going to get wrecked, as they do each and every cycle. Greed takes over. Unfortunately, it's sad, but it is what it is. Bitcoin hits $500,000 per coin. Send it. Spidey takes risks. Let's go. Yes, we do ETFs. And with the bring of the new money in, there's so much money on the sidelines, fam. We're talking about a total addressable market north of 700 trillion. Shout out to Squirrel Bait. I was actually reading my daughter a bedtime story last night, and I made up, you know what I mean, something, and I named the character in the story Squirrel Bait, and she found that hilarious. And I'm like, did you know I actually have someone who watches my show every day with the username Squirrel Bait? That's awesome. The answer is never sell Bitcoin, because it will only future money in New Year's. Will Michael Saylor have to take profits during the peak to appease MicroStrategy board members? Who knows? But I'm sure he'll continue to buy during that time. So I don't think he's going to be losing Bitcoin, but only adding to his position. Ferrari, I mean, Ferraris are sexy, I say. Seba says, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We shall see. I saw that. Bring facts. 420, puff it on, do what it do. Pedro Sanchez, remember me saying we will be talking in Satoshis rather than Bitcoins? I do. The price of one Satoshi will be much more appealing to retail than one Bitcoin. You make a great point. 100%. I hope Kathy Wood's prediction is the correct guess. Me too. I'd love to see 1.48 million per BTC, so send it. Squirrel Bait says, woohoo. Yeah, no sailor will not sell. He says he'll never sell his Bitcoin. Thank you, Radwan Muhammad. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, fam. Much love, much respect. Appreciate that. Yeah, this is exciting times ahead. Now I actually want to play for you a little short 28-second video. There's an intro contest going on, and here are the details to participate in the contest. Here we go. You should be able to hear the audio. Wrong button. Let's try this again. Oh, I got to switch to the right screen there. My bad, my bad, my bad. We should be able to play it now. Here we go.
Welcome, fam. We have a contest coming. Let's freaking go. CNA needs an intro video clip to our show. Everyone is welcome to submit a clip, even Gary freaking Gensler. The video clip must be between 10 seconds and no longer than 30 seconds, and the CNA community family will vote on the winner. The winner will be announced before January 1st, 2024 when we launch the new intro. For full details on the contest, join our Discord channel at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net.
Let's freaking go. And what's hilarious about that entire video was made without me. That's AI. I've never said those words, but incredible what technology can do. But anyways, there is an intro contest. For more details, visit our Discord at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. And I'd love for you to participate. Whoever wins, we're going to be playing that intro every day for the show, and you'll get a lot of clout and recognition. So let's make it happen. What up, Jack Ono? I love Bitcoin. Who doesn't? Squirrel Bait is a nut, says Wayne. Word. Best channel. Keep punching your videos and your energy. Thank you, Jay Bella. Means the world to me. Much love. Let's go, Brazil. Appreciate you, Mr. Oliveira. Bruno Raybar. Hi, JV and fam. Greetings from Costa Rica. Pure Vida. Bitcoin pumping to 100 or 125,000 after the ETF approval. Great job, JV. Day Nada fam. Much love, much respect. Yeah, good stuff. Appreciate you. The voice is good, but the face is weird. Isn't that hilarious? Crazy. You can tell, says Quinn. Oh, word. RSI is still high already. Oh my God, and that hourly chart will be failing. Move out immediately. I'm curious, Devil. Do you own any Bitcoin? I'm going to guess you do not, and you're betting against it. So my next question to you becomes, are you invested in any altcoins? Because if you're wishing for doom and gloom on Bitcoin, but bullish on any of the 10,000 plus altcoins, that means you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because if Bitcoin don't win, no altcoin wins. And I just got to keep it real with you because I'll never understand that. Why do people in crypto hate on Bitcoin when Bitcoin is the king? It's the only decentralized crypto. But meanwhile, we have perma bears who are always projecting, yeah, Bitcoin's still going down to 10,000. You know what I mean? We're not going to go to a new all-time high. We're going to go to zero, like that old billionaire man or Charlie Munger or any of these mofos that just hate and despise Bitcoin. It's wild. I don't get it. Jordan Carr, is it too late to invest in altcoins? No, the entire sector is pretty much new, in my humble opinion. I think we're just getting started. Crypto is not going anywhere. You know what I mean? However, Bitcoin tends to lead the bull charge, so do note that, right? And if you have your crypto in the wrong alt, you may get wrecked, so there's more risk. You know what I mean? So you have to have a risk-reward ratio that you're comfortable with. Why am I all in on Bitcoin? Number one, as Paul Tudor Jones, the billionaire investor, said, it's the fastest horse in the race. And also number two, it's the least risky, meaning I can sleep at night regardless of what chaos is happening in the world and feel good and sleep like a baby. And I love that feeling. Ish coining doesn't provide that same security, just saying. You know what I mean? I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I got to speak the truth. You know what I mean? Devil is Kramer. That's right. Inverse Kramer in full effect. What'd Kramer say a few weeks back? Mr. Bitcoin's going down. And then we just started ripping like we're up 30% ever since. You know what I mean? Misery loves company. Maybe explains the bears. That's right. Kind of like crabs in a bucket. That analogy, you put one crab in a bucket, he can crawl out. You put two crabs in that bucket. As soon as the first crab tries to crawl out, it'll grab him back down and no one can escape the bucket. Unfortunately, life is similar. You know what I mean? People are like crabs in a bucket when they don't want to see you succeed. Love your job, man. Listen every day on my cardio. Thanks and huddle. Thank you, Mr. Oliveira. Appreciate you, fam. AI is on another level you can imagine in the future, says Brian. Word up. Ordinals to 1,000, says Guy Smokey. Maddox says, I feel like I'm going to be right. 1 Bitcoin will be worth exactly in 2025. 1 Bitcoin. Yep, I nailed it. And that's the bigger picture. 1 Bitcoin will always be equivalent to 1 Bitcoin. So don't get sidetracked with the fiat price action, you know what I mean? Bitcoin is the thermometer in the crypto market. Facts. People who hate on Bitcoin have not studied it. Simple. Or they're paid to shill altcoins. Who knows? Misery loves company, you already know. What happens if the ETF doesn't get approved? Well, the truth is Bitcoin doesn't need the ETF. Wall Street needs Bitcoin. They don't want to miss out because of the demand. Their customers are demanding it, and they're just giving their customers what they want so they can make money off of it. So Bitcoin had no problem succeeding without an ETF in the past. We still have no spot ETF. So even without it, we're still going to hit a new all-time high and hit the six-figure territory. However, with it, with mixed multiple catalysts, this bullish between the halving, the ETF, and the supply shock with the limited Bitcoin on the exchanges, to the moon. That's why I'm projecting a cycle peak of anywhere between $200,000 to $500,000. I think it'll likely occur in 2025 as well. But what are your thoughts, fam? Please do let me know. What will XRP do in price? Most likely going to go up. I mean, it hit their all-time high. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it surpassed $4 all the way back in 2017. Seems like a lifetime ago. Then in 2020, the SEC, Jay Clayton, on his very last day as the chairman before Gary Gensler took over, launched that crazy lawsuit against Ripple, and the price action has been suppressed ever since. So I think the price action is absolutely likely going to rise, considering XRP is a bridge currency for CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. It's the chosen crypto for the powers that be to be able to do what they do in their banking system. I'm anti-banker. I'm anti-central bank digital currency, hence why I'm all in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the antidote to those CBDCs. XRP is the bridge currency for those CBDCs. You know what I mean? 1 Bitcoin will always equal 100 million Satoshis. Preach, Wayne. The only question is, how high will 1 Satoshi go? Will it be 1 cent, 10 cent, $1? What would it do? That's a great question. Yeah, so Jeffrey says XRP was like $3.50. So right now at 70 cents, you can see it has a lot of potential to rise back up to where it once was. My money is on Bitcoin, XRP, ETH, and BNB. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the top cryptos by market cap, Bitcoin, Ethereum, next up maybe Tether, then maybe XRP. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going off the top here of the dome. Chainlink is going to be a big one. Chainlink, that's right, it's an oracle, considered by some the missing link of the blockchain, and has a lot of potential as well because it's a technology that is going to be used heavily. You know what I mean? We lost 35,000. It's over. Oh no. We're only at 34,982. Sell your bags. Capitulate. I'm being sarcastic for the newbies out there just to make sure you don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say. What up, Steven? Bitcoin topped 1,061 days after the December 15th, 2018 bear market low, and 1,061 days after the January 14th, 15 low, and 1,061 days after the November 21st, 2022 bear market low, and October 17, 2025 to October 24, 2025. Interesting. Thank you for sharing, fam. Squirrel Bait says, I need cold storage. I'm not on the exchange, but I am not on cold either. Yeah, so if you're currently using an online wallet, step up your security, get a cold storage device. Smart move in my opinion, and learn how to self-custody is the way to go. XRP just passed BNB for number 4. That's right, Jeffrey. So it is currently number 4. Don't listen to the devil, anyone. He's always trying to trick you. Preach. Well said, fam. Shout out to McLovin. Appreciate you. Barry says, yeah, I mean, we shall see how it does. This is my second time on the channel. Like the content, and I do have some Bitcoin. Congratulations, Crypto Cappy. I appreciate you, and thanks for supporting the movement. What happens? Yeah, if the ETF doesn't get approved, we're still going to pump. So it's not like end of the world. It just is what it is. Bitcoin's been doing fine for the past, 15 years. We just hit our 15-year birthday, October 31st. It's been doing a hell of a job all on its own, rising from literally worth nothing, over 69 million%, reaching the all-time high of 69,000. Without the freaking ETF. Just saying. Greg, I'm holding Bitcoin. Cardano, Solana, XRP, and CLSK. Let's freaking go. Kathy Woods predicting 1 million for 2030, not 2024. That is correct. That is correct. With her bullish scenario being 1.48 million to be more accurate. And then she has her bear case being at like roughly 265,000. Then she has her base case at above 600,000 per coin. So if you average those out, it's probably closer to the 1 million mark, right in alignment with the stock to flow model as well, which is projecting the Bitcoin price action soaring somewhere between 100,000 and $1 million post 2024 halving. And again, 5.5 months out. I am so pumped for this halving. If you're pumped too, let me know, fam. It's exciting times to be alive. You know what I mean? KJam, I just ordered some EMP proof bags to keep my cold storage wallets in. That's what's up. Happy to hear that. That's awesome, fam. I'm holding Bitcoin. I mean, that's the king for a reason. That's the #1 coin in the world, obviously, not going anywhere. It's the strongest network. Is the most secure. The hash rate's going through the roof. We all know the Bitcoin price tends to follow the hash rate. You know what I mean? XRP's at 71 cents, points out KJam. That's right. It's up like 11% on the day. Wonder why it's pumping? Well, now that the lawsuit is completed, you know what I mean? I think they're just going to have to pay, I think I heard like an $80 million fine, which is a victory considering they were anticipating having to pay like $500 million to the SEC. Craziness to say the least. You know what I mean? Anyways, fam, we're going to wrap up here on YouTube. I appreciate your support each and every day. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get an on-screen shout out, and I'll give you a personal shout out as well because I appreciate all the support. Make sure to like that as well if you haven't smashed the like, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And make sure you're plugged into our Discord at discord.cryptonewsalerts.net and plug into the crypto fam. I greatly appreciate that. The after party shall continue on Rumble. If you didn't know, we stream live every day simultaneously, not only on YouTube, but Rumble. Why on Rumble? Because it's uncensored and I can speak freely. I can say anything I want. I have to watch what I say on YouTube for obvious reasons. So let's continue with uncensored JV. JV reacts Crypto News Alerts live over on Rumble. Go ahead and visit rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or simply go to Rumble and just type in Crypto News Alerts. Peace, YouTube. I'll look forward to seeing you. Same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow. I am out. Appreciate you guys. One love. Peace.